I had never felt more alive and more dead at the same time. It started with a letter, a crisp envelope, official looking, postmarked from an insurance company I had never dealt with. The first line made my hands tremble. We regret to inform you that a life insurance policy under the name of Jared Williams has been claimed. I blinked, then blinked again. My pulse slowed, then raced. Claimed. I was sitting at my kitchen table, coffee cooling, staring at the envelope. The words seemed absurd, impossible. I am very much alive. And yet, according to this letter, my death had been reported, or at least someone had tried to claim it. I felt a chill run down my spine, my mind racing. Then the impossible truth sank in. The policy was taken out by my wife, Claire, for someone else. I hadn't yet realized that this letter would unravel everything I thought I knew about our marriage. Claire and I had been married 12 years. On paper, a comfortable life, a cozy home in the suburbs, predictable routines, a marriage that many friends envied for its stability. But over the past 6 months, little things had started to feel off. The first clue was financial. Claire had always managed our accounts carefully, but recently I noticed small anomalies. Larger withdrawals than necessary, mysterious receipts in her handwriting. She called them bills for work-related things or payments for friends' emergencies. I had accepted her explanation. I wanted to believe her. Then came the unusual absences. She told me she had meetings late into the night, often, phone calls she took behind closed doors, emails that made her flinch whenever I walked into the room. I chalked it up to stress. She's a private person, I reasoned. Maybe she was just managing her work more intensively. I had no reason to suspect anything worse. Not yet. And then came the letter. After the initial shock of the insurance letter, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I called the insurance company to verify the details. The policy existed. My name, my date of birth. Correct. The beneficiary, however, was someone I did not know. Initials ML. The sum was astronomical. Enough to pay off our mortgage, fund a small business, and still leave a life-changing amount in the bank. I read the letter again, slowly, line by line. Then I read it again. The truth hit me. Someone, apparently my wife, had taken out a life insurance policy in my name to benefit another person if something happened to me. I sat in silence for hours, the coffee long gone cold. Later that night, Claire came home from work, cheerful as always. I watched her. Every movement, every tone of voice, every word suddenly felt suspect. "Dinner's ready," she said. Her smile was familiar, but the warmth I remembered seemed forced. I nodded silently, ate, listened to the clink of cutlery on plates. Then I asked casually, "Claire, do you have life insurance policies for me?" Her fork froze midair. A small, imperceptible twitch crossed her face. I, I don't think so. Why?" she asked, trying to maintain calm. "Oh, just curious. Heard something at work." I kept my voice steady, neutral. She didn't press further. She set her fork down, glanced at the tablecloth pattern, then said, "I'll check, okay?" And she did. She went into the study. I stayed in the kitchen. I didn't need to follow her. The evidence would reveal itself soon enough. I started small. First, I reviewed our financial records. Large withdrawals, transfers to accounts I didn't recognize. Some were minor, some substantial, all traced back to Claire. Then I checked emails she had left open on her laptop, unprotected. I know it's not noble, but I had to know. There it was, a trail of emails between Claire and someone named Michael L. ML, the same initials as the policy beneficiary. Some emails were mundane, meeting times, lunch plans. Others, more personal. "Don't worry, everything is going according to plan," one read. Another, "The policy is finalized. The beneficiary will get the funds if everything happens as discussed." My stomach dropped. Everything. Plan, beneficiary, death. I felt the floor shift beneath me, even as I sat at our polished wooden desk. She had been planning for me not to be there. I didn't act immediately. I wanted more proof, certainty. I began tracking patterns, where she went during work meetings, who she called late at night. Then one evening, I found receipts from a hotel, a luxury suite paid in cash. Dates coincided with nights she claimed to work late. I stayed calm. I told myself calm, rational, deliberate. Finally, a week later, an unexpected opportunity presented itself. She had left her phone on the kitchen counter while taking a shower. I couldn't resist. I opened her messages. There it was, an email draft, not yet sent. Everything is ready. The policy is in place. Tonight we celebrate with a toast to our future. The words stared back at me. Her affair, the life insurance, the plan, it was all laid bare. I did not shout. I did not cry. I did not break anything. I simply waited. That evening, Claire returned, dressed for dinner. I thought we could go out, she said. Just the two of us. Celebrate, you know? I nodded, played along. My voice is calm even. We drove in silence, her glancing nervously at me from time to time. Jared, everything okay? She finally asked. Perfect, I said softly. We arrived at a small upscale restaurant. As we walked in, the maître d' greeted Claire warmly. Ms. Williams, your table for two is ready. Mr. L will join you shortly. Her face paled. It's just a misunderstanding, she stammered. I didn't say anything. I simply watched. A man entered, tall, confident. He looked at Claire. She blushed almost imperceptibly. Then she turned to me. He was Michael L. The truth hit with quiet precision. She had been living a double life, an affair, a plan, a life insurance policy taken out in my name to financially benefit him if I disappeared. All those small absences, the mysterious receipts, the late-night emails, they were pieces of a puzzle I never wanted to assemble. Now the picture's complete. I stayed composed. I didn't shout. I didn't demand explanations. Claire tried, hesitated, then finally whispered, Jared, I don't, I said quietly. I know. I turned and walked out. No scene, no drama. I left her standing there with Michael L. and the evidence of her betrayal. Back in the car, I sat in silence. The hum of the engine, the faint scent of her perfume lingering in the seat, everything reminding me of trust broken. I drove home. At home, I poured a glass of water, sat in the dark living room, and stared at the life insurance letter. A curious, cruel irony filled me. The person you trust most in the world could plan your absence, could financially benefit from your disappearance, could create a parallel life that exists quietly alongside your own, and yet here I was, alive, observing the truth with clear eyes. I didn't know what the future held. Divorce, separation, maybe reconciliation? Perhaps I would be left alone entirely. But one thing was certain, nothing in my life would ever feel the same again. The double life had been exposed, and while it hadn't destroyed me physically, it had changed the landscape of my trust, my marriage, and my sense of reality forever. I finished my water, placed the envelope in a drawer, closed it, and in the silence I realized something that no betrayal can ever erase. The truth has a clarity that nothing else can provide. Claire had planned for me to disappear, and yet I was still here, alive, awake, clear-eyed. Dear subscriber, if you have a personal story to tell and ready to share it with our community in the next video, please write us. Our email is storytimelounge320@gmail.com.